Assalamualaikum everyone. So today our group will present on our very first chapter, which is materials and basic principles of prestressing. Our group consists of 5 members, which is me, Muhammad Rizwan bin Muhammad Rashid, Muhammad Alif Muhaimin bin Muhammad Rozali, Nur Ali Atira binti Muhammad Farid, Bakis Wahida binti Borham, and Aisyah Nabila binti Nur Razli. So during our first week, we are required to do the first chapter before our classes start. So the learning outcome for this chapter is understanding prestressing, grasp the principle and method of prestressing, differentiate the techniques, distinguish between pre-tension and post-tension approaches, identify advantages, know the benefit of using pre-stressed concrete, and comprehend materials, understand the essential materials in pre-stressed concrete. So for our introduction, prestressing. Prestressing is a technique used in concrete construction to enhance the performance of concrete structure. Normally, concrete is strong in compression but weak in tension. Prestressing helps address the imbalance by introducing internal forces that counteract the tensile stresses that occur under the load. So as you can see on the diagram, here is what happens when we do prestressing. First, the pre-compression. Concrete is pre-compressed to improve the performance. And then there is tension tendons. Tendons under tension will create compressive forces. And then what happens? It will prevent crack, which help reduce tensile stresses and prevent cracking from happening. So moving on to our next slide, which is advantages of pre-stressed concrete. For the first one, uncracked section. Pre-stressing will help concrete to maintain uncracked sections by increasing the durability, stiffness, and serviceability under the load. By sealing the crack or preventing the crack, it will reduce the risk of our reinforcement to be corrode. And then, higher capacity. Pre-stressed concrete offer improved stiffness and shear strength, allowing it to bear greater loads. For the last one, longer spans. It enables longer span by reducing structural depth and weight, making the structure lighter and more efficient. Thus, it will make our structure become more aesthetic and require less cost during construction.
Now, we move to disadvantages and materials used in pre-stressed concrete. First, let's look at the problems. The first issue is skill level. Working with pre-stressed concrete needs people with special skills and training, which can be hard to find. The second issue is high cost. The material and tools needed are expensive. So, it can cost a lot of money to use pre-stressed concrete. Lastly, there is quality control. This means the works need to be checked carefully and often, because small mistakes can lead to big problems later. Let's talk about the material used in pre-stressed concrete. Pre-stressed concrete needs special material to work well. First, we have concrete. The concrete needs to be very strong so it doesn't bend or break when tension is applied. Next, we have tendons and steel reinforcement. They are strong steel wires or strands used to pull the concrete tight, making it much stronger and able to handle heavy load. Finally, there are structural aids like steel bolts and other parts. This helps support the structure and keep everything in place. In conclusion, while pre-stressed concrete is very useful, it requires special skills, can be costly, and needs the right material to make sure it's safe and strong.
So next is the methods of prestressing. So what is the method? We have two methods, which is pre-tensioning and also post-tensioning. So these two methods have a different procedure. Why? Because for pre-tensioning, the tendons tension applied before concrete casting, which is factory base. So the process are tensioning tendons and then casting the concrete and then transfer the compression from steel to the concrete. The next method is post-tensioning. So post-tensioning is the tendon's tension applied after the concrete has hardened. So for the process, after we hardening the concrete, tension is applied to tendons located in ducts and anchored with devices to pull the tendon. How do we know when we are using pre-tensioning or post-tensioning for methods of pre-stressing? So for pre-tensioning is often used to manufacture a large number of similar precast pre-stressed concrete. So for an example is simply supported beam, one-way spanning slab and others. Moreover, for post-tensioning, we often use to pre-stress simply supported and also continuous beam, which has a larger spanning of slab, and also a two-way spanning slab because it has a longer spans.
Next is about application of pre-stressed concrete. Pre-stressed concrete can be applied at diverse structures such as buildings, towers, bridges, and other structures. Next, pre-stressed concrete also can be applied at critical facilities such as nuclear vessel and also water storage. Last but not least, application of pre-stress can be found at underground works such as tunnel and subterranean project. In post-tension concrete, tendons are steel cables that help strengthen the concrete. So, there are two types of tendons, which is bonded and unbonded tendons. For bonded tendons, the tendons will incast in ducts and fill with grout after tensioning. So, the tendon is tightly connected to the concrete. Next, bonded tendons are more durable and control cracks better than unbonded tendons. Usually, for bonded tendons are mostly used in structures like bridges and large buildings. Unbonded tendons. Unbonded tendons is a tendons that coated with grease and no grout like bonded tendons. The tendons can move freely inside the concrete. Hence, the unbonded tendons easier to install and inspect or replace. Usually, for unbonded tendon, we will use in building floors and structures needing flexibility. In short, bonded tendons are better for durability and load control, while unbonded tendons are more flexible and easier to maintain.
So now I will explain on the difference between precast and cast in situ concrete. For the quality control, precast concrete is higher quality control due to factory conditions, while cast in situ concrete quality control is more challenging due to on-site variables like weather and labor. For the cost, precast concrete is lower for large projects due to reduced labor but higher initial setup costs, while cast in situ concrete it is generally lower for small projects due to higher labor and time costs for larger construction. For labor requirements, precast concrete is fewer but requires skilled labor for installation, and cast in situ concrete requires more labor for mixing and pouring but less skill for simpler tasks. For its flexibility, precast concrete is less flexible because its elements are pre-designed and hard to modify. For cast in situ concrete, it is more flexible. It allows custom shapes and last-minute modifications, while for its weather dependency, the precast concrete has minimal impact from weather, while cast in situ concrete is heavily influenced by the weather, which can sometimes delay the works. Last but not least, prestressing improves concrete performance, and it is widely adopted for long spans and durability. It helps build stronger, longer-lasting infrastructure and uses materials more efficiently, which supports innovation and sustainability. Prestressing also enabling resilient, energy-efficient urban development for more sustainable cities.
Prestressed concrete construction can contribute to SDG 9 and SDG 11 because prestressed concrete create durable, long-lasting infrastructure, reducing the need of repair and promoting sustainable construction. It uses fewer materials like steel and concrete and improving efficiency and also supporting sustainable industrial practices. The length and resilience of prestressed concrete can help build disaster-resistant infrastructure. It's also used in urban development, support sustainable, energy efficient cities by allowing flexible and open design.